possession in the league.
Hello, welcome to Real Reds Talk. We are here for the match review of Manchester United versus Atletico Madrid. Not the greatest result in the world, 1-0 to Atletico Madrid, United 0. That was a frustrating game to watch. It was much what I expected from Atleti. I think my score prediction reflected a bit more optimism than I probably realised that I had. Adam, just initial thoughts on the game.
Well, just looking back and thinking about it, at points it didn't really feel like a friendly. It felt like a very fiery affair. Obviously a lot of the players must have held grudges against some of these Atletico Madrid players, and
Yeah.
rightfully so. They're a dirty team. They don't play attractive football, and I did just everything that I think is wrong with football, like in that sense. But they're a team full of shithouses. That's what they are. Some people like it, others don't. Like I can understand if you're an Atletico Madrid fan why you'd like it. It's worked, and it does get results, but it's so boring. We over the 90 minutes we were the better team, and I ended up replying to Manchester United on Twitter, and I was like, "This is one of the things with Atletico. They only need one chance. That's all you need." So we had to take our chances, and down one end, Harry Maguire misses from 6 yards out, a free header. And then they go up and score then, like less than 2, 3 minutes later, I believe it was. And that just sums up the game, honestly. Uh, I thought defensively we played all right for the large part. De Gea, I think, had
Fuck all to do.
one, yeah,
Nothing.
fuck all to do.
Nothing.
He had nothing to do. One easy catch, that was it. I know we threatened a lot. We sadly put a lot of chances over the bar. Good chances. We had the better chances of the game. The statistics actually back that up too. I'm sure we'll get into them in
Definitely.
just in a bit. But overall, it was a decent test, and I think it's getting them a bit fired up now for the season starting next week.
Obviously, we're going to touch on Fred. Obviously,
Hmm.
the incident at the end. Scott McTominay. Obviously, there was a lot of that. Again, it's what you expect from Atletico. They're wind-up merchants. They're shithouses. They're going to do this constantly. They're going to foul you. They're going to make things difficult. And they're going to make you tensions boil over and kick off, which is what we saw throughout the game. I think our finishing, like our last-minute decision-making and our finishing was a little bit off compared to the last
Yep.
couple of games. I thought Martial snatched at a couple of opportunities that he had and he sort of disappeared for like most of the second half, and obviously got substituted. Rashford again with his decision making I thought was a little off. There was an opportunity with I think it was a ball from Palestri, a fantastic ball by the way, great ball, and he
Hmm.
took too many touches for my liking. He like dinked past one, made space, and then dinked back again, and then the third time, and by that time the defenders had piled in and he was 2 yards from the keeper and he just lost it. I thought he should have got the
Hmm.
touch, made the space, and then took the shot. But again, Rashford's decision making was something we were really annoyed at last season,
Yep.
and there's still evidence of it there. Hopefully, Ten Hag can sort of change that and get sort of better things out of him. But we'll see what happens. First sort of thing I just wanted to touch on, Scott McTominay. I know we've sort of said a lot of stuff about Scott recently. I don't think he's personally good enough for the team. in terms of quality, in terms of ability. I think his passion and his work rate and his love for Manchester United is clearly there. Like, this is supposed to be a pre-season friendly, and he's taken it as serious as a cup final, which is always admirable. But again, I saw so many instances of him having the ball, passing it backwards, passing it sideways, safe passing, hiding, not showing for the ball, stuff like that is all over that sort of performance for me. I don't know about you. What were your thoughts on Scott McTominay?
Well, that's the thing. You're only as good as your weakest link, isn't that the saying? And he pretty much sums it up. You can't fault his character. Like, he's always fighting for everything. I, he just doesn't have the ability, and the ability's not there, sadly. And like, he's missing like simple passes, and he hasn't seemed to improve at all. We've seen it at least with Fred. I know people like to crap on Fred. But to be fair, he's actually showed signs of improvement. Despite, I know he got sent off today, but he actually looked quite good. He did at stages during that game. I can't remember any specific time where McTominay stood out today.
It's just the
And
City game during lockdown, the goal. That's
that was it.
and then the Leeds performance.
The Leeds, yeah. Can we play Leeds every week?
Yeah.
Can he start there then? But it's deflating the result. Like, after I was really hyped for the game, looking forward to it. First big, I felt like it was the competitive game so far under Ten Hag, and I think a lot of the players actually let him down, either with finishing or their inability to actually pass a ball, and McTominay was actually one of those.
Yeah, I want 5 minutes to rant on something shortly. But Saveer's just sort of brought it up in the chat. Well, indicated that. Well, by the way, shout out to Saveer in the chat. Saveer, do you want to drop us a DM on Instagram? Won't mind getting you on a show for the season preview if you're up for it. Drop me or Nick a DM on Instagram. We'd love to get you on. Saveer, good with the result, but can't be mad at the performance. Yeah, I think the performance was solid. There were some good elements there. It's just, being snatched away at the end. I think the game has exposed the fact that we need reinforcements. So yeah, I'm going to get onto that because that's something I was going mental at in the chat. JD429, I woke up at 4:45 AM just to see that our team is not ready. We need more signings. Yeah, we're going to get onto that. And mate, I feel so bad for you. Got up at 4:45 to see it be snatched away. Get snatched away from you. It's that's gutting, mate. Very gutting. Let's get on to Fred. I thought Fred was one of our better performers today. I thought he was very solid, breaking up the play, some decent passing, tenacity as always, work rate, that stuff that he's known for. I thought there was a couple of moments in the game where he's very effective, especially his link-up play with Bruno and stuff like that. I thought he was very good. Just unfortunate at the end that stuff boiled over and he ended up getting sent off. It's arguable, like the stuff leading up to it with Atletico. Should one of their players been sent off? Was it Carrasco, who's constantly bashing Ilanga, constantly on the right?
Carrera too, is it?
Carrera as well, yeah. A couple of them, they were smashing Ilanga a few times. They should have been booked way earlier than they should have, but is what it is. What are your thoughts on Fred, obviously up until the sending off at the end?
Well, I said it a wee bit earlier. Not many players, especially in the last since January, can hold their heads high and say that they've improved. One of the only few players that I can say that has actually been Fred. He's always showed fight. Like McTominay, people always questioned his ability, but he seems to actually improved at that too. His passing seems to be a lot better. He breaks up the play very, very fast, and we might be seeing shades of kind of around the Europa League final time. Was it a year or two ago? 2 years ago. I think we were being linked with Kante at the time, and people were like, no, Fred is actually playing really, really well. Yeah. And he was arguably going to be our player of the year at one stage, which is saying a lot, especially for this fella. And then obviously he went on, had a poor season, but then from last January, he's actually played really, really well. Being one of the more consistent players, I don't think I've seen him drop more or less and less than an average performance since January too. Like I know the results haven't been there, but he's actually played quite well. Today, I think tempers kind of boiled over, and their lot actually do it a lot. They wind you up. They get away with a lot too. They do.
I mean, that Champions League game was horrendous. Horrendous. The stuff that was going on in that game. That referee was just not having any of it. So frustrating.
And again, today, I don't think that it was he should have been booked for the first yellow. I think it's like a friendly. like let it go.
Yeah,
That first one go. Second one I think was a yellow. Like uh, he caught him late. He didn't. Then I know tried to hop over him, but his foot went down on
yeah,
Murata. Then
yeah,
so it has to be yellow. So I understand why he gave the red then. But it's a friendly at the end of the day. Didn't feel like a friendly for large parts. And I'm glad he showed a bit of fight. I think Ten Hag will respect that too. I think he might actually like the player. But if you're choosing between one of the McFreds, I think it's Fred that's going to be
yeah.
surviving. Because I was reading today, people apparently United turned down a 30 million offer for McTominay.
Oh, why have we done that? That is bad business for.
Yeah,
I honestly think with McTominay, it's about optics and appearances. It's like we've got
yeah,
groomed this young lad from academy all the way through our team, and we've brought him to the first team, and now he's a first team regular. And I think that's all it's about at the minute. I don't think they're truly seeing the ability or the technical, and the fact that he's not improved under any manager. He's played under every
yeah.
manager, and he's not improved for me and for a lot of
That's the
people I
big thing.
speak to. Again, we've got seem to have a team full of players who there's one set who have the passion, the work rate, and the desire to give everything for Manchester United, and then you had the other set who had the ability and the skill set and all that, but they just weren't up for it and they weren't willing to play for Manchester United. I'm hoping now we're going to get onto reinforcements very shortly. I'm hoping with the players that we have brought in already, that's going to change. We're going to touch on Ericsson next, but I think, yeah, hopefully now we'll get players in who have the quality and also have the desire to play for Manchester United. And I think Scott McTominay doesn't have that, whereas Fred, I think, has a level of ability where he's useful as a squad player. I don't think he's a first teamer if you've got other midfield reinforcements in, but I think he has enough to be a squad player and be useful to the team.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I completely agree with that assessment. McTominay, he just hasn't been good enough, as you said, under any of the previous managers. He hasn't showed it on a consistent basis, but at least Fred actually has and has showed signs of improvement. Even under Ragnick, who, technically speaking, is our worst manager. Is it ever? It could be like, lowest win rate.
I mean, that whole season was just kind of,
Mm,
you know what I mean? Ollie, it wasn't
yeah.
great either. And under
No.
Ragnick, it just seemed to have got worse. So, yeah, it was all over. It was not a great season. Let's
Hmm.
touch on Christian Eriksen. I thought he was really, really good. I think within 2 minutes, he created a chance, didn't there? That fantastic
Yeah.
ball over the top. Who was it? Is it Rashford on the end of it? Or
I think Elanga
Elanga?
was almost at the
Elanga
end
on
of
it.
it.
That I thought, this is it. There's the goal. It was a couple of there was a corner he put in where he said Maguire missed from like a few yards out. There's a few other balls that he chucked in. I thought his overall passing, his overall delivery was fantastic, and it just showed you the severe lack of quality in ball delivery, in set pieces, in crossing, and all that stuff that we've not had for a long time. And that Christian Eriksen delivered it within, what did he play, like 20 minutes?
It must have been about 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For a while I was crying out, why isn't he on yet? Hmm.
So yeah, I thought he was really, really good, and it's just the small cameo that he had. I thought he played fantastically well. But
Hmm.
yeah, what were your thoughts on Christian Eriksen?
Yeah, he came on and the passing he was doing, fantastic passing. Right before that chance, as you pointed out, he ended up switching it over to the left, and I think like two or three passes later, he ended up putting it in the box. And I'm telling you what, if we had a taller centre forward who we're currently linked with, I'm sure he would have got his head to that,
Yeah,
and it more than likely would have been a goal. Then so he could have had two assists. Then it came to the corner, and Maguire missed the chance. And I know the commentators were saying on what you call it, MUTV, they were saying, "Oh, United have definitely worked on that on the training ground." But like, has Ericsson had much of a training session with them
yeah,
so far? So like, they've been working on it in the training ground, but do they ever get it in the back of the net, especially from corners? Like,
yeah,
I know it's one of my biggest rants. I think we've only scored two corners in the last, like, it could be 12 months
yeah,
at this rate.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get
Um,
that. I think the first game of the season gets Brighton. We need to score a corner just to set out a precedent, just to be like,
yes.
let's
Hmm.
stop this curse going on any longer. Score a corner in the first game, and it's over for them. We don't need to worry about it for a while.
Hmm. But Sam, it does help when you have a player like Christian Eriksen now, who's actually really good at set pieces. Like whether it's free kicks, apparently his first goal for United was a free kick. I know there's barely any
Perfect.
footage. There's no footage of it, I think.
Yeah.
But then he took the corner today. Should have had an assist. Should have had another assist for Elanga. Came on, changed the game, and you know what? Like when he came on, he looked like the best player on the pitch, hands down.
Yeah, I thought he was great. I thought the quality he showed and the ability, like I said, I
Hmm.
thought he was really, really good. So I
Yeah.
just want take a couple of. If anybody in the chat has got some questions or comments, please feel free to chuck them in. We will
Yeah.
get to them as we go on. And if you haven't,
Yeah. What did everyone think of Christian
yeah,
Eriksen?
let me know what you think of Christian Eriksen. Let me think of Fred, Mctominay. Let me know what you think of the Atletico game as a whole. Everybody just drop in the chat. We've got 20 people in at the minute, so yeah, let us know. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, please consider and do so. It would help us out tremendously. We're trying to get to 300 before the season starts, and if any help you can do, that would be appreciated. So, what I wanted to get into was lack of reinforcements. We are July. What date are we on? July 30th? Are we
30th.
on? 30th of
Yeah.
July.
That was last month.
Oh, fucking hell. July 30th. Season starts next weekend. We've got one game pre-season left. And we've lost two arguably first-team midfielders in, excuse me, Paul Pogba and Nemanja Matic. Say what you want about them. They were first-teamers when they were fit. They played. We have two other midfielders in Mctominay and Fred. One arguably is not good enough for the team at all. The other is maybe not good enough as a first team regular if you're trying to challenge for stuff in Fred. And we haven't bought a single midfield replacement. We haven't bought a single midfield reinforcement. We haven't brought in, we've not been linked to anybody beside De Jong. Not a single midfielder. And we've lost two that we have arguably not up to snuff. And James Garner's not had an opportunity really in the preseason because of injuries and whatever reason. So we have not replaced our midfield, and we are crying out for some quality in that midfield. And why have we spent since April? We've probably known Pogba's leaving. Since I think May, we knew Matic was leaving because he announced it on Instagram. We've known this, they were leaving. We were crying out last summer for a defensive midfielder, and we didn't get one. We spent all fucking summer flirting with Sancho and eventually sorted that out after 2 years. We've needed a defensive midfielder for God knows. Like, when did Michael Carrick retire?
He retired, was it Mourinho's season? I think was these
Yeah.
at the end.
So
Yeah, I think
quite a few years ago, arguably we've needed that type of midfielder since then, and we haven't done it. We haven't replaced it. Scott McTominay hasn't worked. Fred, he's not a DM. He's not. I'm sorry, he's a good, effective player, but he's not a defensive midfielder. James Garner, there's question marks. I don't know what's happening with him. I don't know. I've not seen his ability enough because he's not been given an opportunity yet due to injuries and what have you. Why have we not signed a midfielder? Why have we not signed two? We arguably need two to replace the ones that have gone out, and then arguably one to upgrade McTominay from. So arguably we need three midfielders. And what have we bought? We've bought Lisandro Martinez, fantastic player. I think he's a great centre-back option. Can also play in DM, but it looks like he's not going to play there as far as I see. Christian Eriksen is a free transfer, but quality player, as we saw. Great. Terrell Malacia looked effective, has been effective. Looks like Nick says in the chat, Eriksen to take Bruno's spot, Malacia to take Shaw's spot. So people are saying he could well be our starting left back next season. Decent options, decent players, but it's not what we need. We've got this hole in the midfield, and we've still not bought any. And you have to put the blame on John Murtaugh, and you have to put the blame on Richard Arnold, and then previous regime with Ed Woodward and Matt Judge. We've not bought a midfielder. Why is Adam? Can you explain to me why we haven't got one?
Well, you know what we're going to hear. We're going to hear the usual, oh, there's no value in the market. But it's because you leave it till too late, way too late. There are options out there, some really good options that you can get for a decent price. And our lot, they just can't negotiate more than one deal. And they're putting all their energy in one deal right now that they can't do anything besides it, except like, over the phone. They can't go and meet agents. They can't go discuss with other clubs. It's really, it's honestly a joke. I don't know any other club, especially the recruiting department, that actually operates like we do. And we heard it too about a month and a half ago. The money's there. Well, if the money's there, put your money where your mouth is and actually cough up. Uh, it's really, really frustrating because, as you said, it's someone that we needed a midfielders like what you call it in the defensive role for a long, long time since Michael Carrick. You're looking at maybe the guts of it could be 6 years now,
Yep.
and we didn't sign a right winger for nearly six. What was it?
10
8 years. It
years.
could have been
8, 10
10 years.
years.
10
Yeah.
years. Like, why are we so bad at recruiting? Other teams get a load of different players in for multiple positions, and we can't seem to get one. It's really, really, really frustrating. And I don't think we're going to improve at all unless we actually change the way we recruit.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating because you see someone like Liverpool, and I hate to heap praise on Liverpool, but they're doing stuff right. They lost Mane, arguably one of their best front three. You'd think Firmino would have gone, but Mane was the one to go. And what did he do? Right, he's leaving. Cool. Went out, identified one of the hottest young strikers on the planet right now. Went to them, go how much, and they went, and I think there was rumours that they were taking the piss.
Yeah.
Benfica, they were like, oh yeah, tell him 100 mil, and Liverpool came back and offered 100 mil. Went out, like, how much? Cool, here's the money, bang, got him, sorted, replacement done within a week. I think it happened. I think Mane leaving, signed for Bayern, Darwin Núñez coming in was of a week, just sorted, replacement done. City, same thing. We need somewhat replacement for Fernandinho. Fernandinho's going, boom, Leeds, Calvin Phillips, sorted, done. Like, why are we so incapable of doing this? Even Chelsea are getting it right. They've lost 3 centre-backs in Rudiger, Christensen, and somebody else they lost as well, didn't they? Who else did they lose? Anyways,
I know there was talks about other players, but
Yeah.
then they improved them.
They've gone and bought Koulibaly.
upgrades.
They just got and bought Koulibaly. And it's like they
And they're
knew.
linked with Kimpembe.
Yeah, and they went for Koundé, obviously ended up going to Barcelona, but they identified who they wanted, went out, tried to get him, and then some they got him, and others they didn't. And it's just, why are we not able to, why can we not see the gaping hole in our midfield and go, right, we need defensive midfield, or we need midfield recruitments in here. I'm going to make Shirace's day. Boubacar Kamara was available on a free. Solves an issue right there. Get him on a free, get him thing. He seems to be playing really well for Villa. Problem.
And he's a
Sorted
young
there.
player too.
Young player. Don't cost you anything. Wages won't be too crazy either, I don't think, because I don't understand it. Ibrahim Sangare is out there at PSV Eindhoven. I don't imagine it'd cost that much. Maybe 35, 40 million, something like that. Don't imagine it'd cost that much. Go get him. Ruben
That was
Neves.
Euros too. What they're quoting.
Yeah, Ruben Neves. You could have got him beginning of the season. Wolves probably wouldn't have quoted 100 million at that point. But now, because we were waiting till like halfway through the transfer window, Ruben Neves, you could have got him. Yuri Tielemans. He's there. He's on his last year's contract. 35, 40 million. Leicester want to sell him. He wants to go. Go do it. There's options out there to improve this midfield, and we haven't done it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. That game should be named after Squid Game, red light, green light, because it was all start and stop all game. Yeah, that's what Atletico like to do. They like to just sort of put the foot in every time you get some momentum and just kill it. Put a foul in, wind you up, kick off. Like, it's just, that is Atletico's game all over. They stop people. They stop teams' flow. They stop teams' games. That's just the way it is. You can't just sign anyone though. There has to be a DM to fit Ten Hag's regime. I get that, Nick. I do. But there's options out there. Like, you telling me Kamara, that Ten Hag couldn't use Kamara? You telling me
young player, he can be coached.
Yeah, you telling Ten Hag couldn't use Tielemans? You tell me Ten Hag couldn't coach Ibrahim Sangare? He saw him a lot last season in the Eredivisie. I'm sure he saw his stats and he saw his game and stuff like.
Man the match against them in the cup final.
There you go. Like, he can't use these players. Like, come on. He's surely he's not looked at Ruben Neves and gone, very good midfielder. Like, I understand it has to be the right fit for the right system. Like, we're not going out and signing stupid players, like going out and spending 150 million on Declan Rice just because he's the fancy player. Like, we're not doing that. Like, these are all smart, astute signings, I believe, and they're available. They were available. Like, it's so frustrating.
Sam, you know what's frustrating as well? Our season starts next week. It does, and the transfer window's open for another 4 weeks. Depending on how the results go, we could have had a lot of players in. Maybe we sign another 2-3 players, okay? But we've missed out on points at the start of the season. They'll affect us at the end. What if we finish like a point outside the top four.
Yeah.
If you had the players in earlier, we could have got results at the start of the
Yeah.
season. That's my worry now, depending in the first few games. I think we'll do okay. But if you have he's Ten Hag's players that he wants in now, we could have started the season really, really well and then just build momentum from there.
Yeah, Nick saying, would Pep or Klopp sign Kamara and Sangare? We're not Pep or Klopp. It's Eric Ten Hag. If we're just going to compare and be Pep or Klopp, oh, what would Pep do? What would Klopp do? They're not managing Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag is.
I didn't think Phillips was a Pep
No,
Guardiola sort of player,
no, did
but
I?
he's gone to them.
I didn't think Liverpool would spend 100 million on Darwin Núñez, but he
Mm.
did. Because obviously Klopp sees something in him and thinks, I can get
Mhm.
something out of him. Like, Liverpool spend when they need to, but then they make astute signings. Like, what's the Fulham guy, Carvalho? How much did they pay for him? Like 20 odd million? Or was it
Something
less?
like that, yeah.
Maybe even less. Astute signing. Andy Robertson cost like, what, 6 million from Hull or something ridiculous. And then they spent big on Virgil van Dijk. They spent big on Alisson because they were two key areas that they needed to fix. But then they've done astute signings all the way through. So United can do these astute signings and do these players, and I think they can work. But I think if we just go, what would Klopp do? What would Pep do? It's like, we're not United, we're not City, we're not Liverpool, we're Manchester United. Whatever Ten Hag wants and needs, we should be providing it for him. And I can't not believe he's not
He's
gone.
snapping, getting it done quickly.
I can't believe he's not gone to Murtaugh and Arnold have gone, get me a midfielder. There's no way he's not asked for midfielders. He can't. There's no way, because if he hasn't, then I don't know what's going on, because everybody else can see it. Every pundit, every fan, every person on this channel can see it. We need midfielders. So, anyways, I've rant over because I'll just go on forever otherwise. Shout out to Ayao. He's doing a little emoji in the chat. Severe. Ericsson was class, fit like he'd been there all summer. Yeah, thought Ericsson was great. Adam, do you want to get some stats up for us? I know you were sort of having a look at it. Just have a look at
we'll have a look at
stats
the
during
statistics. Break
Just,
them down.
Just
So I'm going to read out Manchester United stats first, and then I'm going to read out Atletico's. So total shots, 13 for us and 7 for them. 4 shots on target for us and 2 for them. I think it was a big thing. We've just put our best chances either over the bar or wide a lot of the time. And I know it doesn't really reflect there. We had twice as many, but we could have actually scored a lot more than them. Shots off target, 5 for us, 3 for Atletico. 4 shots blocked for us and 2 for them. We had 5 corners, they had 3. 1 offside to their 3. And we committed 19 fouls to their 14. That's a bit of a shock to me.
I was going to say, I'm surprised at that.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be the other way around, but there you go. Maybe we were getting wound up and then we were committing more fouls.
Yeah, we were. And 3 yellows for us, 4 for them, and 1 red for us, and 0 for them. But then the goalkeeper saves. De Gea only made 1 save. All Black made 4.
Yeah, that tells the story, really, doesn't it? Like, we made their goalkeeper work far more than De Gea had to do. We'll go on to their goal. Like, obviously, it was very similar to the Champions League where João Felix scored, and they didn't really create much in that Champions League game. He's done the same here. He's come on and he's scored, and without creating much beforehand. I thought Dalot was a little too far away from him, if I'm honest. I thought he could have been tighter to him and be closer. He gave him a bit too much space for my liking, because he then used Dalot as almost like a screen to hide where he's going to put the ball, because De Gea barely moved, if anything, did it? Like, he just looked at him, went past. I don't think he even saw it till it was past him. So, yeah, for me, I think defensively there was a bit of a lapse there in Dalot. Obviously, he's been
shame because
good.
we looked defensively good.
Yeah,
all game we did.
Then
something like that happens. The moment you switch off, that's when they're going to take full advantage, and it's what happened to us. They just need the one chance, and we gave them the one chance, and look, they scored. They done it against us in Europe, and it's happened again today.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. 30 people in the chat right now. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate everything. Any more questions as well, get them in the chat. We'll happily answer that. Should we get on to player ratings? Let's do some player ratings.
Yep.
Some player ratings. David De Gea, didn't have much to do, did he really? Made that one catch. I don't think he was at fault for the goal, because I don't think he saw it until it was past him. The only bad moment I actually saw was like right at the very beginning where he put the ball out of play. That was frustrating. Another evidence of his bad distribution. I hope that gets sort of stamped out as the season goes on. I hope Ten Hag sort of clears that up. For me, 6, because like I said, didn't really do anything, did he?
No, that's a fair assessment. Not a fault for the goal. You pointed out there when he put it out of play. I think I put it in the group chat.
Yeah.
I ended up saying 15 seconds in, and De Gea has already put it out for a throw in. I was like, it's going to be a long day. But to be fair, they pressed really, really well in the opening minute, but then we got control. We did for most of the game, and I think it's fair to say 6 out of 10. He didn't really have anything to say, oh, he was standout or wasn't at fault for the goals. So 6 out of 10, I think, is a fair assessment.
Yeah. Terrell Malacia, I thought he was very good, very lively, especially the first half, made some good opportunities, linked up well with, is it Rashford who's on the left for us? Or Elanga? I can't remember.
I think it was Rashford at the start, and then Bruno moved over. Rashford moved into the middle.
So I think he made some good link-up play with Rashford. Was on corners. He was doing a few corners as well, which were quite good. There were some decent corners from him. So yeah, I think he played well. So I'd go with like 6.5, maybe 7 a push if you're being generous. But I thought he was pretty decent.
Yeah, I think 6.5 is a fair assessment as well. He had one good chance. He did. He put over the bar, one of our better chances in the game. But my only criticism that I can say was there was a time when he got the ball out in the left. I think it might have been just before the shot, but he seemed to just kind of slow down a bit when he should have just started running, because we know the guy's full of pace. But he's a young player. We'll learn a lot, and hopefully we'll see a lot of him this season, because he's been a bright spark in the team, especially on that left side that has been dead all last season.
Well, Nick was saying previously in the chat he thinks he's taking Shaw's spot in the team left back, so very well could be. Surveyor, we're going to do a mad one towards the end of the window in typical Man United fashion. I can see it happening. I wouldn't surprise me, mate. Honest to God, it wouldn't surprise me if we did.
Resign Fellaini.
Oh, fucking hell.
Deadline day.
Turn down De Jong and re-sign Fellaini. Oh, fucking hell. Can you imagine if we would have got Tony Cruz? Can you imagine?
Oh, man. To be fair to Moyes, he wasn't back proper at all.
No, definitely not.
No. And
Ferguson
was already working miracles with that team. So
he wanted Fabregas and Cruz, didn't he? They were two.
And
Imagine that in our midfield, Fabregas and Tony Cruz. Oh, amazing. Anyways, fantasizing. Should we do
different life?
Yeah. Should we do the centre backs as a pair? Harry Maguire, Lindelof. Yeah. Don't think they did much wrong, really. Harry Maguire, a couple of good blocks, I thought. Did well. There was a tackle as well where I think Atletico broke through and he got past him, but he made that last ditch tackle, got on.
Yeah.
Don't think Lindelof really put a foot wrong. Solid as always. I'd give him a 6.5 again. I thought decent. Didn't do anything spectacularly. But didn't do anything wrong really either for my.
Yeah, that's a fair score. I think 6.5, 7. I thought they played well as a pair, especially against this team. Atletico, they didn't. Although the one time, obviously, a chance. They get a sniff of a chance. They ended up taking advantage, but I don't think it was necessarily their fault. Again, only criticism is Maguire with the size of his head. I don't know how he's not putting that into the back of the net.
I was going to say I forgot to mention that. That is maybe they go down to 6.5 because that opportunity. I think if you would have put that in, you might have got a 7 from me.
Oh yeah, if you put that in, I think it was a 7 out of 10. But defensively speaking, I thought Maguire and Lindelof actually played quite well against a tough team. But as we are saying, in a different life, Maguire would have put it in the back of the net, but it wasn't to be.
Like we said, we've said this at every game we've done. It's pre-season. Like, this is the time to have shit results, have mistakes happen, all that sort of stuff. This is the time to do it because it doesn't really matter at this point. If we start doing stuff like this, where we're like against teams like Bournemouth or against teams like Fulham and stuff, did Fulham come up? Yeah, Fulham came up.
Fulham came up.
Teams like that where we're taking all these opportunities and we're not taking them, not scoring, and then they go and bag one at the last minute or like on the counter or something like that, and it costs us 3 points. That's when it's going to matter. That's when it's going to be an issue. So I think in a preseason game, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's a little different. Diego Dallo, I thought he played well for the most part. I thought he made some good sort of, again, link-up play with Anthony Lang on that right-hand side. It's good runs, good crosses, passing. I think he was at fault for the goal a little bit. I think he wasn't tight enough to his man, which allowed him to be used as, like I said, a screen to sort of fight Felix to put the ball in. So for me, I'd say a 5.5 because I think he was at fault for the goal. I think he would have been a 6.5 had he not done that. But I think because he was at fault for the goal defensively, I think he gets half a point knocked off for me.
Yeah, I thought, as you said there, his link-up play was quite good with Laranga on the right side. But the one moment he switches off, we can see the goal. It's a bit of a worry because he can be prone to that. We've seen it. I think was it against Arsenal too at the Emirates when we lost. What was it, 3-1? He switched off. To be fair, who didn't switch off in that game? The whole defensive line switched off. But
did anybody switch on for that game?
That's it. Yeah, were any of them at? Oh no, I almost said something bad.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I was so close to saying that. But, you know what I was going to say.
I knew what it was. I saw your mind. I saw it. You know, you get the ticker across the news thing. I saw it go like that across your brain, and then you go delete.
Yeah. But yeah, I think 5.5. He was at fault for the goal. But as you said, get the mistakes out of you right now and learn from their mistakes, and then start the season well. So 5.5.
Yeah, Albert Denwell in the comments. The team will come around, folks. I hope so, mate. I really hope so. I think if we don't get any more reinforcements, as I've said, I think Ten Hag's going to have to work some serious miracles to get top 4 out of this team because I think we're in dire need of reinforcements. So we'll see what happens. Scott McTominay, for me, poorest player on the pitch. A lot of passing sideways and backwards. Really frustrating. Again, hiding when showing for the ball, just hiding behind defying Atletico players. I just don't. I don't see him as. I think he's a great guy. I think he's got the right attitude, all that stuff. But I just don't think he's good enough for Manchester United at this point. And for me, he was a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I think 5.5. Like mixed sideways to call him, but even now he's struggling with his sideways passing, and I'm sorry, your missus just went by in the back.
Yeah.
But yeah, like McTominay, sideways. She went sideways there. Like he's passing, but 5.5. I'd probably give him today.
I did feel a bit shit for him because he was getting shit from the Atletico players for jumping for a ball that he was entitled to go for. Like, he wasn't committing a foul on Black by any means, but the Atletico fans were acting like he elbowed him in the face. So he was going for a ball and a header, like, absolutely ridiculous.
And it happens between centre halves for corners the whole time, and it's never a foul. But as soon as I think keepers are very protected these days, they are.
Well, he got booked as well, did he? Black. I don't know why. I don't know why he got booked, but apparently he got booked. Maybe for winding people up or something. But yeah, I thought it was a bit stupid that he got booked. But I thought McTominay is entitled to go for that ball. But
I never met a player who can wind up their own fan base and the opposition fan base on the same pitch.
But it's not as bad as the referee that we had for the Champions League game. But it was a baffling decision that for me. But anyways, Fred, I thought he was decent for the most part. I thought very good passing, great breakup of play, very lively, very energetic, as we always get from Fred. Some decent moments, link up with Bruno as well, some decent sort of moments there. Obviously, at the end, lost it a little bit. I probably would have given him a 7, to be honest with you, but I think maybe to get the sending off, maybe that loses him half a point. I don't know about you, but let me know.
Yeah, broke up the play really well. Actually, his passing was quite good. He woke up for right off the bat. I think he was caught on the hop by the Atletico press, but we played out of it, and then we ended up controlling them for most of the game. But I think the sending off's the big thing. Like, that was very, very rash. Like, I know the game was basically over, but like if you do that in the Premier League, then you're missing the next game. That's a suspension there. So I can't give him anything higher than a 6. Just because of that.
Yeah, fair enough. Anthony Elanga, I thought he made some good attempts to do stuff. I just thought the end product wasn't quite there at times. He got bullied a lot by Carrasco and Carrick on that right-hand side. Obviously, he's a young lad, so he's not fully developed at this point. So he was getting like muscled off quite a lot. A few of them were fouls. I thought they should have been called. I thought they should have covered him. They should
Yeah.
have got booked way earlier. Other ones that he was just getting out muscled on it and out strength by it. I think Nick said something in the chat. Anthony Elanga, fantastic athlete, but just not quality United player. And
No.
I don't want to say that just yet. For my opinion, I think we still need to give him this season maybe, because it looks like he's not going on loan. It looks like he's going to stay being around the first team. So maybe give him this season, see what happens. If we don't see any improvement or any sort of significant uptick on his performances, maybe then we have to decide and let him go. But yeah, for me, 5.5. I just thought he wasn't effective. He attempted, his effort was there, his attempts were there, all that stuff was there. Just wasn't effective when it mattered.
Yeah, I think 5.5 today. You can't give him higher than that. Palestri came on, made a bit of a cameo, and looked a lot better than him. And he only played, what was it, like 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Around that.
Yeah.
And like he was actually picking out passes. I think was it to Rashford. I know he ended up scuffing the chance ready at the end. One or two shouts for a handball, but I don't think it was.
No.
But he looked a lot better when he came on than Elanga. So I think Elanga needs to. It's a bit risky because he's kind of going down the path that Rashford went down last season, and he needs to kind of break away from that. Just focus on improving your ability with the ball, your passing, especially now because you're playing out in the wing. You need to be a good passer, getting the ball into the box. We've seen elements of it last season. He looked really, really.
I think we've temporarily lost Adam.
And then you have to make. Sorry.
You froze completely there and just like lost that. You're all good. You're all good now.
I'm good now. But yeah, it would be, I give him this season, I would. And if we don't really see, much improvement, you got to think then you can get a bit of value for him. I know I might be sounding harsh, but you can get it. We don't want to do what we've done with Martial as well now.
Yeah.
Like, ran him down and nobody really wants to sign him now. That's mainly because of the wages. But yeah, he's at risk of doing what Rashford's doing, but today 5.5 had nothing really. He had almost got at the end of the one chance from Eriksen, but that's really about it. Palestri looked better.
Yeah. Marcus Rashford, I thought decent at times. Some good runs, some good passing. Again, decision making, letting him down. Indecision at times as well, like hesitating. I thought that ball from Christian Eriksen was a fantastic ball, and I think he took too many touches. I think if he takes one touch, gets space and shoots, I think that's a goal. But I think he wants to get it right underneath his feet before, because he's so lacking of confidence. He wants to get it right under his feet, and he's just not getting to that point. So for me, maybe a 6. I think average. I don't think he put many feet wrong, but I just think his lack of finishing, his lack of decision making lets him down, and it's the same story from last season. Obviously not at the same dismal level that he was at last season, but he's not he's not touching close to the levels he had when he had the 20 goal season. No. He's not touching those levels yet, which is what I want to see from him. He needs to do that this season. He needs to be getting near that, if not at that level this season.
Yeah, one of the things with Rashford that I noticed now is he likes to hold on to the ball a bit more, have more time to think. He is beating a man now, though, which he wasn't doing a lot last season, but he seems to be holding the ball a lot more. And I think I think Nick said it a couple of months ago. He's very instinctive. That's when he's at his best, like, when he doesn't have time to think.
Yeah.
And last season, I think he was a bit of a victim of his own kind of sword in that sense, because he kept running up blind alleys and he was doing it just on instinct, but it wasn't working out. So now he seems to have taken a bit of a step back and he's actually holding on to the ball a lot more, giving himself more time to think. He is beating the man. So little signs of improvement, but today he had, I think, was it the one chance he cut in, and it was in the opening 2 minutes. Decent save for the keeper to get down from Oblak, but there hasn't been really any sign of, like, that big breakthrough. Oh, this fella, he's going to be world class again. I haven't seen any sign of that over the, what you call it, the preseason. Even what was it, an own goal against who was it?
Was it Melbourne?
He got to the end.
Melbourne?
It was Melbourne, I think it was Melbourne, yeah. And it was going a mile wide. It was before that. So there hasn't been anything really to shout for him, but little signs of improvement. So six today, average performance.
Yeah, the chat's also gone very quiet. What's happening, people? There's 15
Hmm.
people in there. Get your questions in, comments. Let's get this chat scrolling. I want to see activation in there.
Hmm.
And if you've not
Yeah, what do you
liked,
think of Rashford?
yeah, Rashford, all the other players you just spoke about, put your thoughts in. And I want to see likes and subscribes going up as well. So get on that.
We're one off 290.
There we go. Sort it out.
Hmm.
Sort it out. Yeah, finally, Anthony Martial. I thought first half very lively. I thought he had some very good moments, some good interplay again, which he's very good at, linking the play, dropping in, that sort of stuff. The stuff he's very good at. He thought he did that well. And then he just sort of went quiet in the second half. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm not sure if his fitness is not quite there and he sort of took a step back, or maybe he wasn't getting the same sort of balls and passes that he was in the first half. I'm not sure what happened to him in the second half. He seemed to sort of go very quiet. I know he got tackled and he stayed down for quite a bit, didn't he? At some point, and he was obviously taken off for who was he taken off for? Was it Ericsson? Did Ericsson
I
come
think
on
it
for?
was Ericsson, yeah, and then Donny van de Beek
And then
came on for
Rashford went through the middle, didn't he?
and Bruno went on the left end.
Yeah, so maybe that was a factor. But yeah, I thought he was very lively. I thought he's definitely going to score in this first half. And then, yeah, it just sort of went quiet. So for me, 6, average performance.
Yep.
Didn't do much wrong, to be honest.
No, pretty much like
That's a lot worse when you do it that way. If you would just walked normally, it would be fine. But you did it. Oh, God. Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
sorry, Adam.
yeah, okay. Yeah, 6 again today. Kind of similar to Rashford. Had a good chance, but he put it over the bar. I think maybe the slight hit that he got, the contact, he might have been a wee bit wary with that, because are we really going to start Ronaldo on the opening game of the season next week? I don't think we are. I think it's going to be Martial, but yeah, I can see why he took him off then. But today, again, nothing ready to shout. 6 out of 10.
Just to mention, we mentioned Ericsson, obviously, the stuff that he did. I thought Pleshy had a nice little cameo. I thought he was decent. Good ball across for the chance. Some good sort of little moments of quality. What thoughts on Pleshy? Do you think he's sticking around? Do you think he's going back out on loan this season?
I'm worried that he will go back out on loan, but our only other option is Alanga, and he looked a lot better than Alanga in that cameo that he made. I personally keep him around. I think you can coach a young player to perform really, really well, and I'd like to see him a lot more now, because he's made a good few appearances. He's probably made more appearances for the Uruguay national team?
Yeah.
And he has for us. And if you're making a national team, you're good enough.
Yeah.
So definitely worth keeping him around on the bench. Yeah, I'd probably give the young fella 6.5 out of 10 just for his cameo.
Yeah, I thought he played really well. I know Shreyas is a big fan of his. I know he rates him quite highly. Obviously, Nick is Team Ahmad, who we'll probably see tomorrow. Nick's a massive fan of his. Just one of the other sort of things I want to touch on. Lisandro Martinez, disappointed not to see him today?
Yeah, a little bit disappointed, but I understand why he didn't want to kind of take him off. Atletico are a very, kind of physical side. I thought the two centre halves played quite well as well, in Maguire and Lindelof. So he probably didn't want to break that kind of up. And maybe that's he's starting. They played 90 minutes today. Could be starting centre half choice for next week. Yeah. And I think I did predict it as well. I said that. I think it'll be more or less the same team that we've seen today. Ericsson might be in for a shout though after his cameo, because he looked a lot better, created more chances. Yeah. He created more chances than Bruno. And he's,
I think Nick said, didn't he, in the chat, he said Ericsson's take Bruno's place and Malacia take Shaw's place. I think he was on the pitch 5 minutes and created 2 chances, Ericsson. So
there you go.
He's quality. JD49, don't worry, guys, about not getting enough signs, because we have a think tank now. Yeah, we've got that think tank of Alex Ferguson, Robson, and Gill, and fucking hell. I
genuinely think Robson even now could play better than Mctominay.
Oh, mate. I'd kill that. Is Michael Carrick still fit? I bet he's still fit enough to do it.
Oh,
drop it a line. I bet he is. Paul Scholes can still probably fucking do it as well.
That's what Ericsson's passing actually reminded me of a lot. It was those Scholes type passes.
It's very pinpoint, isn't it? It's like it's not 2 yards in front of you. It's not 4 yards behind you. It's to you directly on a
Yeah.
sixpence, as they say, is fantastic. Yeah, I was a little disappointed to see not see Lisandro Martinez. Obviously, I'm very excited for him. Nick's very excited for him. From the games I've seen him play for Ajax, he seems like a very tough, intense player. From the interviews that he's put out, he seems to be very, very similar mindset. I think one of the quotes that I favorited was, "If I have to step on corpses to win, I will," which I'm all about that shit for Manchester United. I think he was Player of the Year or Players Player of the Year, something like that for Ajax last season. I think he was. What was the stat that Nick brought up? Was it the most? Fuck, I can't remember the stat he brought up for Lisandro Martinez.
Interceptions, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it
Most
might have been interceptions. Yeah.
So it seems like he's just what we need. So I was a little disappointed not seeing him, but maybe we'll see him tomorrow. Because it's not a long flight. It's a 2-hour flight, I think, to Oslo. So it's like taking the train down to London. So may see him tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Any other questions in the chat, drop them in. If not, we will sign off shortly. There was anything else you wanted to sort of bring up that I didn't get to, Adam?
Trying to think. Well, one thing I noticed is I didn't think we had that big of a support in Norway.
No.
We all filled out a stadium with nothing but red shirts around, and I think there was only I know Atletico play in red and white too, but there was a lot more Manchester United fans that were arguing over every decision the ref made against us. But yeah, really, really good support, and it just shows we have support everywhere, every corner of the world we do. I'm convinced a tribe in the middle of the Amazon would have a Man United jersey too.
Got a Wayne Rooney jersey on with the Vodafone logo on it. As you can see from our subscribers and the people in our chat, they're all over the world as well. We've got India, we've got Tanzania, we've got Mauritius, we've got I'm sorry if I'm missing your country out. Shout out where you're from in the chat. In the country. America. Like, we've got people all over the world who are Manchester United fans. Look at this channel. Me and Nick are in Manchester. You're in Ireland. Shreyas and Dan are in India, but they're in opposite ends of India and stuff. So we had Severe, who's in the chat. He's been on the channel. Like, I think his family's from Nigeria. So we've got United has got fans all over the world. So it wasn't that surprising for me to see that amount of fans in Norway. Like, you saw the response in Bangkok, in Thailand. You saw the response in Australia. So yeah, United have got fans all over the world. I can't see anything. No other questions in the chat. So if not, we shall wrap it up. Adam, what's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I had to see what time the game is on.
I think it's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock tomorrow.
4 o'clock. Okay, 4 o'clock on Sunday. Hopefully we can get a better result. Let's be honest, we were thinking about doing a watch along. It may or may not. I'm going to be hungover. I'm going to be honest. I'm on holiday now, so I can enjoy my time. Saturday night, bank holiday here. So
what's the bank holiday in Ireland?
It's just, I think, the first Monday of August.
Oh, really?
Is a bank holiday.
I didn't know. We don't have that here. Unfortunately.
But you get one for the Queen or that, don't you? Like the Jubilee. It was
fuck the Queen. Fuck the royal family. Bunch of nonsense.
Okay. It's just a hypothetical situation. If they were to buy Manchester United, how would you feel?
Be pissed off because I don't want paedophiles. I don't want paedophiles running my club. Thank you.
There you go. Okay, yeah, we have standards. There's the Glazers, and then there's them.
That's what I'm saying. That you've got Qatari owners of City. You've got is it Saudi Arabia, Newcastle? Is it Saudi?
Yeah. Saudis.
So you've got all this money, but they're run by blood regimes, governments. And it's like, say what you want about the Glazers, at least they're not killing journalists, abusing women's rights and all this sort of shit in the country they're from. The Glazers are complete parasites and money grabbing arseholes, but I'd take that over blood money regimes any day of the week, personally, for me anyway. But
the Glazers are just a result of when capitalism is abused.
Pretty much.
That's what they are.
Pretty much. And I'm anti-capitalist as fuck, but I'd rather have the Glazers than blood regime in charge, or the monarchy for that matter. Because
Well,
technically,
wasn't there rumours that she supported Manchester United?
oh,
There's all
fucking don't.
rumours about
Go support Arsenal, for fuck's sake. Don't want you.
that. Or Chelsea.
Yeah, go support one of
Chelsea
them.
wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, fucking go support them. Don't want you to support your Manchester United. Also, if the Queen owned, if the royal family owners, technically we own them. We own Manchester United because we pay for the...
The people own, yeah.
Our taxes pay for them. So whatever money they have... Like,
Okay, maybe it isn't so bad.
yeah, maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do
Taxes would
that.
be good.
Yeah. Maybe then I could say I own Manchester United because I'm paying for
Yeah.
the royal family who then owns Manchester United. Maybe that's the way to get fan ownership. Maybe that's the way around. Maybe that's the way around it. But anyways,
There you go.
we're getting completely off topic now. This is just going... This is what happens when you don't give me questions in the chat. I start going off on tangents and random shite.
He's ranting about the monarchy. Come on,
Oh,
people.
God. I've not even had a whiskey today either. This is sober. Like, this is me sober. So, yeah. Anyways, appreciate, Adam, you coming on the show, as always. Me and Adam will be back tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll try and get Dan or Shreya. So I know they've got some busy, like, obviously, lives. People's lives get busy. Nick is still in Tenerife until Monday, but I believe he will be back Monday for the Instagram live. Speaking of Instagram, if you look on the bottom, our little social all here. Follow us on TikTok, Real Reds Talk. Lots of funny clips in the show, little sketches as well. Nice little stuff. Go check us and follow us on there. Twitch at Real Reds Gaming. We play COD. We play PUBG. Although Sherez might not be able to play PUBG anymore because of the ban that's going in India, so you might have to pick another game. I play Assassin's Creed as well, so go follow us on Twitch. It's a little bit infrequent. It's just as and when we got time. Because obviously the channel's our main focus on YouTube, but it's fun. So come hang out. Twitter, Real Reds Top 1. Dan and Sherez run that. Latest news updates, latest things going on at Manchester United. All the links to the videos and all the links to the lives that happen. So go follow it there. Instagram, me, Adam, and Nick are all on that. So all the latest graphics, schedules for the shows. That's probably the best place to come message us as well if you want to chat about football, because we're always active.
Oh, you'll get an instant reply on that.
Yeah, come drop us a DM. I've had to chat with quite a few people on there, so come drop us a DM. All the latest news on there as well, and obviously the Insta lives which happen on a Monday. So just come follow us there. Thank you for watching, everybody. I think what are we on subscriber count, Adam? What's the latest count?
Let's see. We're still 289. We went up 2 on the stream. So if anyone hasn't,
somebody, if one
290.
person give me 290 after the stream ends, that would be appreciated. We're trying to get to 300 before the end of the season. So yeah, if we can get to 290 after the stream ends, that'd be fantastic. Like the video as well if you haven't already. Leave a comment in the video after it's posted. Let us know your thoughts on the game. Having all said all that, Adam, cheers for joining.
No problem.
No worries. I'll
see
see everybody tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Peace and love.